Hey everyone, I have been busy lately. I got some pretty big videos put up on a couple of my channels and have been doing a tremendous amount of live streaming as well. I got my totals in for March, and on Twitch alone I did just shy of 150 hours of public streaming there. Plus I've been trialing doing 2 Patreon exclusive live stream sessions per week as well. But I've still made some time to do some custom stuff over here in the city. First thing I want to point at is this table, which I've been clearing out. I did a whole bunch of disassembly along here, and the parts are all over the place. But I have separated this out and gone ahead and lowered the table like I said I was going to do last time. So this table is now at the exact same height as the cargo harbor table is, which means that this water is at the exact same level as the water in the cargo harbor. And that's all going to work out perfectly. So my inside train loop going around the downtown area is going to be flat now. It's just going to go straight. So all this is going to be built up with pure Lego kind of interspersed buffer layers here, which actually fits just right. It's going to be the exact same formula that I used actually the same formula that I used for my old skate park when that was in the middle of the space, and also for the cargo harbor. And I already have the parts for that because I've gone ahead and finished disassembling most of the stuff from this in-between table. This is where the skate park was over here, where it had the little dip. So I'll be able to reuse a bunch of these pieces, but I don't need all of them. And that's going to allow this to be, well, just better, significantly better than it was going to be. And I'm happy to be able to take advantage of that relatively easily. I also took final inventory of the tracks that I need, the specific tracks that I need to customize. I didn't get to cutting those just yet. I'm like one session away from working on that. So like this one needs to be trimmed down, or I need to come up with a custom length solution for that, which, I mean, I've done custom lengths of tracks before, and it's not a big deal, especially for straights. It's really easy. I just need to do the work. And I'm not sure if I have the one of the materials in particular that I need for sealing that up. But I got all those figured out. I also got in my my switches. I needed a couple more switches, well, a few more switches to finish up the new layout. So this one is correct now, and then over here, this one is correct and connected. That one's correct and connected. And then this over here for now can just be the plastic track. It doesn't need to be fully powered, but eventually I'll replace these when I get even more switches. I keep running out of right switches for some reason. I've got a couple left to spare, but that'll be replaced. But for now, this at least is connected up and shows that the new layout works properly, where I'll be able to temporarily park a passenger train along here when I want to run a camera train around here, and the police train still has a place to go. Another one of the cuts is over there. Haven't done anything else. Haven't done anything else out here other than maybe moving some parts around, cleaning things up just a little bit. But over on this side, I'm not sure if you noticed, you may have noticed, it's looking a lot more empty. Messier also, as I move stuff temporarily around, but also more empty. I removed all 8 of my modular buildings. All 8 of them are gone. And I'm hoping that this time I will leave them gone. I am so sick of seeing those in my city as reminders of the fact that I need to replace them. So now they're gone. Now I'm just going to be looking at empty space until I replace them. And that's just, I think, going to give me even more, well, 2 things it's going to give me. One is more drive to fill in these empty spaces. 2, a fresher look at what is available to me since I made these changes of taking out the whole center section and making. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute, but it allows me to look at this and say, well, okay, I have all this space to work with. I'm in the middle of some major changes. Now is the time, if I want to make any other major changes, I can. So for example, if I want to change where this elevated rail loop goes, I was already having to adjust it. But if I want to change its route even more, I can. And also, if I want to, I have one last chance now to move this first skyscraper before I start working on the next one. So if I want to shift that over, I can. If I want to rotate it again, I can. If I want to flip it back over to this side where I believe it was originally, I can. So I've got some options there, but I'm very, very much looking forward to starting work on my second skyscraper now. I might even end up working on that simultaneously, like back and forth with the zoo. So obviously the zoo needs more work, and the zoo actually just gained a little bit of potential space for it with this redo to my layout. So I may be able to make that just a little bit larger, which is great, because I kind of needed a little bit more breathing room over there for the entomology space and also the bird exhibit. But we'll see what I decide that I end up wanting to use there if I want to leave some empty space, you know, some open space, add in a little bit more greenery. That's to be determined. But this, I kind of actually like being able to look at the street over there from this side. That's kind of nice, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll do something else to take advantage of that. Maybe even pull a street over to here, you know, so that you can see the city block from both sides. Have just something going through the center here. I'm not sure, but I surely have a lot of options here. But I mean, yeah, fundamentally, all I did was take the buildings out. I also like being able to see all that open, you know, that little plaza in there. Things will definitely be better once I add in more lights everywhere, as far as what's visible and how visible things are. But I really like being able to see that street over there from this distance. We'll see what happens with that. Next thing that I've done just today, because I'm finally confident, for the first time, confident in the inner layout of my tables, I went ahead and started reducing the legs, just like I did on the outside long ago. So it just makes it a lot cleaner. I've got consistently just the black legs on one side. Some of those are original and some of them are just painted. You know, they all look the same because black is black, but you know, black just doesn't stand out as much. And just like I've done over here for the other side, eventually all this will get, well, much of it will get covered up. So you're not going to be seeing all this stuff that's under here. Of course, that should go without saying. Mess is not final, and mess is not intended to be shown. But those are all together. These tables continue to serve me very, very well. I'm so glad that I invested in these so heavily early on. They've done me well for 2 houses now, and 2 houses, and then 2 major layout changes as well since then. An expansion and a major change since then, and continue to work with these. And this arrangement is actually going to make it easier for my next phase, where I will be raising these tables up significantly to completely change how this room feels. So all that is good stuff that I'm looking forward to. A little bit has been done. You know, some stuff around the background stuff has just been necessary and not particularly awesome to look at or anything, but it's part of the process. It's an important part of the process. All this stuff has to be done, and this isn't the only thing that I do in life. So yeah, follow all of my channels and all of my socials and everything that you see in the video description. If you really want to see everything that I'm up, well, not everything that I'm up to, but most of the things that I'm up to. I've got one more thing I can show you too. Just real quick, I'm in the streaming room now, and this is the latest locomotive that I've been working on live, both on Twitch and in some of the Patreon sessions. I've gone back and forth on some technicalities of how this would get built with the stripes, and kind of banged my head up against a wall a bunch. As usual, this is not intended to represent any one specific, real world locomotive. It's just my own thing, and it's intended to be able to work well with this locomotive, the last one, which is a little bit beefier than my average. So yeah, it's just I needed to kind of basically make something that I would be able to lash up to this and that would look good with it. So this one took inspiration from the last Southern Pacific livery, and this one takes inspiration from an earlier one, like a little bit from Black Widow. So it's just kind of so-called Black Widow color scheme. So it's just intended to look like it could have been from the same company at a different era, but ultimately would be able to run with it today. But that's all for now, quote unquote all. I'll keep you posted. Thanks for watching, and catch you later.